If you've been around the print-on-demand space for long enough, you've probably heard your fair share of comments like, print-on-demand isn't profitable. Or my favorite, I sold a few items, but I only made like $2. It was dumb. Hashtag not worth it. So for today's video, I want to give you 7 specific tactics, actions that you can implement right now in your print-on-demand shop to get you on the right path with print-on-demand and become more profitable. In case we haven't met yet, welcome to my channel. My name is Mandy, and as the owner of multiple 6-figure businesses, including several print-on-demand shops as well as a handmade shop, my goal is to provide you with strategies to simplify the print-on-demand journey so that you can achieve your own success and crush your goals. First of all, just a little business advice. A good rule in business life is to never take advice from someone who hasn't done what you want to do. People are entirely welcome to their opinions, but when they're using their platform to simply spread negativity or tell you that it can't be done, simply haven't done what you want to do. If you want to do it, you put your mind to it, you go do it. I certainly didn't get to where I am by listening to horror stories about running a small business. I listened to and learned from powerhouses who have hustled their way to the top. And second of all, I run multiple 6-figure businesses. One of them is completely handmade that I've built since 2017 from a small side hustle. And the other one is my print-on-demand business that I grew to 6 figures in just 10 months. Both are profitable, but in different ways. And a lot of times people are trying to compare the two as though they are the same, but they're not. With my handmade business, I'm typically running anywhere between 50 to 70% in profit margin depending on the product. Whereas with print-on-demand, it's going to be closer to 20 and 30%, and that is still considered a healthy profit for any product-based business. Both are good, strong business models, but they are going to look different. Because remember, with print-on-demand, you are paying for the convenience of having a middleman do most of the work. But there are absolutely very specific tactics and strategies to maximize your profit margin. And that's what I really want to focus on for this video. I've got 7 of them, so let's dive in. Number 1, set yourself apart with unique designs. I know this sounds super basic, but a lot of times when people start out with print on demand, they simply go out and they copy whatever design that they see out on Etsy or Amazon, and they use that. Simply copying another design that's already out there is not going to do you any good, because then the only way for you to compete with those other stores that are selling those is to compete on price, which means you are racing to the bottom. That is not where your profit margin is going to be. Same thing goes if you're simply downloading a design from Creative Fabrica and not making any changes to it. Because guess what? There are hundreds, if not thousands, of other sellers out there downloading those same images and using them exactly as they are. You have to be able to stand out and have your designs stand out so that they can target a specific audience that is coming to Etsy to buy. That means understanding who your target customer is, understanding what types of designs that will resonate with them, and then designing specifically for that target audience. Because when a design is unique and resonates with a buyer, they are going to be far more likely to buy that, which means you don't have to compete to be the lowest price out there. So stand out from the crowd and find your own way to be unique. Number 2 is with personalization. This is a simple way to add value to the listings that you already have. Whether you're able to add a name or date or any sort of other customization that will make a design more personal to the potential buyer. Personalized items are perceived to have a higher value, which means a customer is willing to pay even a little bit more than they would if it was just a simple basic design. Because the customer, again, recognizes that personalization, even if it's something simple like adding a name, still takes a little more time on your part as the seller. So if it's a design that resonates with them and it's got personalization, they are much more likely to add to cart and be willing to pay for that higher amount. Number 3, do not price based on what you would pay for the item. 9 times out of 10, what you're going to pay for a sweatshirt, for example, is probably a lot lower than what the average customer is going to be willing to pay for that same sweatshirt. Especially if you are, again, designing specifically for a target customer and designing specifically for their unique interests and things that are going to resonate with them and be special for them. Their perceived value of that item is going to therefore be a lot higher than yours. As an example, a lot of print-on-demand sellers will tell you to simply charge one price for your sweatshirts and maybe only charge a couple extra dollars if you sell the larger sizes or unique colors. And the unfortunate reality is that depending on which provider you're using, you're very likely losing money on some of those different colors or sizes. I typically set my prices in Printify using the profit margin percentage. So for most of my products, I'm consistently charging them at about 65% profit margin. Now that is not my take-home margin because remember, Printify's profit margin isn't calculating whatever shipping costs there might be. If I'm absorbing any of those costs, they're also not factoring in Etsy fees or any sales that I might be running. And so that is why I specifically use that number of 65% as a profit margin, because then no matter what product I'm selling, I am always making a profit at the end of it. When there are price increases or if there are changes in fees, I still have a healthy profit margin. And it allows me to run daily sales, which, by the way, if you're not doing that, that is an extra bonus tip on how to make sales in Etsy. I run daily 24-hour sales. And the beauty of pricing in this way is that then I can use those sales to adjust my pricing if I need to. So if I want to lower my prices for the customer even more, I might increase that percentage sale price for the day. Or if I want to test what the threshold is for sales and see if there's an impact in the pricing, I might lower the percentage of my sale for the day. But again, the point is that profit margin percentage is static. And I have built in that healthy profit margin so I can offer more sizes if I want to. I can offer more colors if I want to and not feel like I'm losing out on money because of it. And in some cases, you might be thinking, no one's going to buy that. The sweatshirt ends up costing $55 even with the sale. Guess what, friends? They do. I have unique designs. I design specifically for target audiences. I design with things that I know that are going to be desirable for that target customer. And in doing so, I have designs that resonate with them, that make them more desirable than some of the other stuff that is just generic and out there on Etsy. My customers are willing to pay more for the item they're receiving because it has a higher perceived value in how it's marketed to them and how it's designed. The fact of the matter is good designs will sell. So don't be afraid to charge what your ideal customer is willing to pay. They might surprise you. Am I potentially missing out on customers that would rather pay $15 less for a sweatshirt? Maybe, but then those aren't necessarily my target customers. Number 4, simply sell higher ticket items. So many new print-on-demand sellers simply start with the basic t-shirts, and that's totally fine. However, there are tons of other options out there for print-on-demand. Things like jewelry, metal wall art, home decor, there are a variety of different products that you can use to have higher ticket value. If you really want to sell apparel, that's totally fine. That is what my primary shops are. But instead of starting with t-shirts, start with sweatshirts. My average profit margin on sweatshirts is about $18, which is a lot higher than the average profit of most t-shirts, which is closer to $5, $6, or $7. If you really want to sell t-shirts, there's ways to do that too. Instead of your basic Gildan or Bella canvas, you can sell Comfort Colors t-shirts. Printify has those. I've linked them in the description if you want to go check those out in case you haven't heard of them. But Comfort Colors, number 1, are very trendy right now. And number 2, they sell at a premium, which means half the time Comfort Color t-shirts are selling at the same price as Gildan sweatshirts. And if you're not sure if your profit margin is higher or if you're not sure that you're actually selling a higher ticket item, make sure you're using a profit calculator. There's plenty of free ones out there. Etsy Hunt has a great one. eRank has a great one. I actually built one that I use myself. It's based on a Google spreadsheet so that I can calculate my profit margins as well as make sure I'm tracking the financial health of my print-on-demand business throughout the year. I'm kind of a spreadsheet nerd myself, so if that's more your speed, I do make the spreadsheet available as part of my Patreon group. If you're interested in that, you can definitely check out that link that I've got in the description where you can get access to my complete Google Drive. Number 5 is increasing your average order value. This is a standard e-commerce business term, and it simply just refers to the average value that a customer spends when they check out from a store. Increasing this value is a little easier to do when you're working within niches, whether that's within your broader shop as a whole or even just within sections where you've got specific niches and target buyers. But an easy way to do this is to have items that are similar and relate to that target buyer so that when they are in your shop, they are often buying more than just one item. They might be adding 2 or 3 to cart. So if you've got designs in a niche that are selling really well as a sweatshirt, for example, maybe add them to a tote bag or a mug. And then what you can do is in the description of each of those items, you can link to the other items that will match and say, if you like this design or if you're buying this gift for your favorite aunt, here's another item in this shop that would pair well. Etsy doesn't like outside links, but they do like their own links. And so that will be a clickable link that you can add to the description of your items that keeps that buyer in your store longer. And again, increases their chance of adding more items to cart and increasing that average order value. If you haven't started designing for niches or specific customers in mind, now's your sign to do that, because again, this is one of the easiest ways that you can keep those customers in your shop longer. Number 6 is group listings, and this is kind of similar to number 5, but I separated it because group listings are still a little bit different than simply designing more products with similar designs. Group listings is all about targeting buyers that are there with a group purpose in mind. So this is going to be for bachelorettes, bridal parties, family cruises, family vacations, camping trips, husband and wife shirts, mommy and me shirts, dad and son shirts, all sorts of different directions that you can go with what's considered group listings, meaning when someone goes to that listing, they are almost guaranteed to be purchasing more than one of that particular item. This is one of the easiest ways to increase that average order value and exponentially increase your profit margin on those items. And number 7 is by far the easiest. It doesn't require designing, doesn't even require listing. And that is to consider signing up for Printify Premium. If you've been on my channel, you know that I'm a huge fan of Printify. They are my provider of choice. I've been with them now for over a year, and I absolutely love working with them. And one of the benefits of having Printify Premium is, while you do pay for the monthly subscription, what that does is it's lowering your cost of the products by 20%. So what I generally tell people is that if you're making at least 10 sales in a single month, that's less than a sale a day. Depending on the product that you're selling, 10 items will typically be your break-even point in terms of the cost of the premium subscription. If you're selling higher ticket items like sweatshirts, you're going to get to that break-even point a lot faster with really just 4 or 5 sales in a month. But the point is, once you get past that break-even point, meaning that your profit from your sales has covered the cost of having that subscription fee every month, everything beyond that is a direct increase to your profit margin, which as you begin to make more sales is absolutely worth it. Printify also has the option for you to annualize your subscription to Printify Premium as well, and I actually like that because it actually saves you about 14% on the cost of the subscription. And so the math works out to be about $25 per month if you bill annually versus $29 if you bill monthly. If you're not quite sure, I do have a code that you can use. It's Studio M, and if you use my link down below for Printify and use that coupon code, you will be able to try out Printify Premium free for 30 days. There is a limited usage on that coupon code though, so make sure you check that out if you're interested in saving with Printify Premium. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I do try to respond to all of them when I can. If you want to learn more about all of the various strategies that I've used for print-on-demand success, make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming content that I've got planned. And in the meantime, be sure to check out my dedicated playlist, my free masterclass course. You knock out the 101 in the first module, the rest of it is all entirely deep dive strategies to help you be successful on your own print-on-demand journey. Thank you so much for being here. Can't wait to see you on the next one. And if you're looking for more helpful ways to continue the work and stay connected, I invite you to join me over on Patreon, where I provide a membership to get exclusive access to my Google Drive with all sorts of wonderful tools and resources that I've created and continue adding to every month. It's also a place to join conversations as I think about future content and how I can serve you with the most amount of value. I also hope that you'll smash that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on all the exciting upcoming content that I've got planned for this channel. And finally, I invite you to check out my brand new website where you can subscribe to my own email list, follow along on new blog content that I will be building, and access other freebies that I have available on there to support you on your journey.